If you like talking,
Women,
Ladies,
men,
topic,
conversations.
and occasional uninformed politics,
multiple talking women is for you.
Hit it! Hey ho, Paula Gherkin here. Welcome back to Multiple Talking Women. We are here with I'm not a host, I'm a producer, but we're here with you, both of you.
Hi,
You talk enough to be a host.
That's right. I might as well be. I am one of your hosts, Lana Brown.
And I'm the other one, Felicity Bramblebush. And we are so happy. We are so happy because Julian GANT is in the studio with us today.
I'm so happy to
Welcome.
be here.
Welcome.
Thank y'all,
Welcome.
Man. Ushered me in with Fritos and oranges.
Yeah, we have
feel
snacks.
good.
When I
That's
said my
nice.
name, you had a surprised look on your face. Is that because you recognized my name?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't recognize it, but I felt that it was a tongue twister and a lot of alliteration.
Yes.
You can try to wrap your tongue around it if you'd like.
Can you say it for me one more time?
Felicity Bramblebush.
Bramblebush. The last name is
liked that.
what tricks me a little. Bramble.
Like a
A lot of bees.
yeah.
And also, bramble is
Bramblebush.
sharp things, so it's not like a soft, nice
It's like
bush.
a sharp bush.
It's almost two names, Bramble and Bush,
Yes, it is.
which is why I thought alliteration. I thought you were saying a middle name and then a last name.
Oh God! It wouldn't be a bad middle name. What's your middle name, Julie?
Gerard.
Cool. I like
I knew that. I already knew that.
Yeah.
Gerard.
Yeah.
It's a great middle name.
Oh,
Family
thanks.
name?
No, not at all.
Did people call you JJ growing up?
Nope, not at all.
no,
It was
okay.
Junebug.
Oh,
How cute is that?
that's much better. That's a darling.
Junebug.
Your hair.
Oh, yeah.
It's a gorgeous head of hair.
Oh, thank you.
And I think I heard a story about, when you said, hey, this is how I wear my hair.
Yeah.
And this is how I wear it.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter what part, doesn't matter what, this is how I wear my hair.
Right.
How did that happen?
That happened. So it is no secret that there was a lot of violence against black men due to the police. And I'd seen it so much that I just got so fed up. My breaking point was when Mike Brown got killed in August, I believe, of 2014, is when I started growing my hair out because I wanted to show that this should not be a threat. My hair shouldn't be a threat. My skin shouldn't be a threat. My lips shouldn't be a threat. My nose, it should not be a threat to the police. This is something that should be embraced, and I wanted to embrace everything that was black about me. Just because I felt like it was such atrocities done to black men and black women.
And have you ever had a job come up where they're like, hey, you'd be great, but we'd love it if we could do this or that with your hair, and you say, no thanks.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's happened several times.
Wow. Have you lost jobs because of it?
Yes, several.
Wow.
Several jobs because of it. I've lost some commercials because of it. I just feel like
I think that's so cool because I'm taking a break from auditioning.
Well, you weren't getting any auditions.
Well, I was just getting auditions, but I did take one commercial workshop once online, and I learned that they always ask, "Are you willing?" They ask the men, "Are you willing to shave or cut your hair?" And everyone is so desperate for a job. They always say, well, "Of course." But so how cool and how self-assured and to stand up and just be like, no.
Yeah.
Actually, no.
This is me. And it's an important part of
and deal with it. You know what? Do I have to change to suit you, to make you more comfortable?
Exactly.
No, I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
People, I'm looking at Julian
I was
Junebug.
waiting for this because I also want to say the same thing.
What?
I know
I
what
don't-
you're going to say.
Well, my platform is skincare and kind of moisturization.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you and you are luminous.
Dewy.
Dewy.
Yeah.
You're like fresh. You're a man.
This is the best
but your
smelling
skin
man
is
on
like,
the planet,
yeah, it's
literally.
fresh, it's glowing.
Yeah.
It's just a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, man, that's my beautiful wife who does that. She
gets you stuff to put on your face?
She makes sure I'm all oiled up. She's like, don't go out of the house ashy. So my beautiful wife sets it up to where I...
And how does that look? Do you lay your body down on some stone?
Some stone.
A stone plank. She's
Plank.
imagining.
And she
Hold
applies.
on. What are you... What did
Did you just say some stuff?
What did you
She's
put in your
thinking
I wanna-
biblical.
No, but what did you just put in your mouth?
A small candy.
Oh,
Okay, it doesn't seem small. It's taking up half of your mouth.
It is.
And it seems we took a break, so I'm confused as to why right now you had to stick a whole candy in your mouth.
Because I left my candies next to my
Oh,
chair.
damn it. All right. Sorry to interrupt.
oh,
so
no
yes, are
worries.
you laid on a slab by your wife and lotioned up? Or how does that work?
No. She just give me the coconut oil, and then I rub it on my body.
On your face too, coconut oil?
Yeah, all up everywhere.
Right out of the shower?
Yeah, right out the shower.
Okay.
Because it traps the moisture.
Is that what happens?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are
Women
you
know this.
Now coconut oil,
Yeah.
does that sometimes get on your clothing?
Yeah,
You,
sometimes.
do you get an oil stain or slick?
No, for some reason I don't get oil stains. I don't know why. You would think.
Which is interesting because you do work in the automotives
That's right.
and
You
cars
do.
sometimes.
Yeah, and that's a lot of oil and stuff. A lot of dirt and
But
grime.
you are lubed
Yeah, all the time.
all the
Seems like
time.
that's my life, just all right around oils.
But you know what? It makes sense because the way you slip and slide through life, and everything seems just to roll off your back. You're
Peaceful.
You're peaceful. You are so talented, and it just feels like you're just in this mode of ease at all times.
Damn. Yeah. I fake it pretty good, I guess.
Oh yeah, does it not feel like that inside?
Sometimes it feel, I feel like, I let stuff roll off my back.
Yeah.
I do that. Yeah, you're right
Were
about
you
that.
were you that way your entire life since childhood, or did that something that you learned? Is that something you learned how to do?
I think I learned. I think I learned that. I had learned patience because I was a hothead in high school.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Can we actually go back a little bit? And I want to know about little Julian Gerard Gant.
Yeah.
Little June bug.
Little Junebug. What was that like growing up? You grew up in Detroit?
Yeah, grew up in Detroit. He was a rambunctious, super
okay.
rambunctious.
Sure.
Always off
Only
the walls.
child.
No. I got an older brother, a younger sister, so I was the middle.
Okay.
Just
Was there a lot of Junebug? Sit down.
yeah. It was.
Sure.
Yeah, my pops.
Yeah.
It was a lot of that.
Stop.
Sit your ass down.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Damn, what you doing?
Uh-huh.
Baby, come here. Look what he's doing.
A lot of that.
Wait, so Junebug was bouncing off the walls, and your
Yeah.
brother and your sister would just listen and
They did what they were told.
They did what they told. Yeah. For the most part, they did. I was
This deep register of your father is everything.
Oh yeah, that's what he do
And sometimes you use this, I've heard, in characters. when
all the
you do-
time. Oh yeah.
But it's not your natural register, but you can do it
Nah.
perfectly.
Yeah, that ain't my register at all.
Oh,
That's my
It's
dad.
disarming because it's masterful, but there's a little bit of humor in it.
Yo, okay. Yeah.
That's called comedy, Lana.
was your father a comedian?
He could have been. Just as much.
He was a
stuff as he
jokester.
taught. Yeah, a jokester, and he would fuck me up when he would get drunk sometimes because he would get drunk, but he wasn't like a mean person who was
Fun
drunk.
Be drunk.
Yeah, but he would do the weirdest shit. Like, he would come into my room at like 3 a.m. Did you fold them clothes? Yeah. And I'm waking, I'm like crusting my eyes, like, yeah. And then he would open my drawer, and on top I had folded clothes, but in the bottom it was all just wrapped.
tricky.
It was crazy. It was
tricky.
like a bunch, and he would, these goddamn fold. This shit ain't folded. Come here, get up,
3 a.m.
fold this shit up, and then he'd sit there and watch me fold and laugh at me. Yeah, that's messed up. That's what he would do.
messed up.
Or he would do stuff like, now when he wasn't drunk, he would do this. Like he would, I would have all the dishes. Like we'd wash all the dishes or whatever after dinner, and then if he would go in the cabinet or in the drawer and pull out a fork or a cup, and if it was something on that fork or cup,
This shit ain't clean. Hey, you know what?
and then he would take
Take
all
everything.
the dishes out of every cabinet.
Watch all that shit.
Yeah. If one's not
If
clean,
one
there's a
ain't
good
clean-
chance the rest of it is.
would make
And
you
your
up.
reaction was, "Oh, Father, you are so funny."
Yeah, nah. My reaction was, hey, you couldn't do nothing but watch the dishes. You just
Yeah, that's what you did.
get
That's
up and watch the
what
dishes.
you did. Now I understand waking my child up in the middle of the night. I think he just wanted someone to hang out with.
Yeah, probably.
I think
probably.
so.
And then not only, yeah, he was just one of those dads But I always tried to get away with shit though. Like I think that was the issue. He knew that I was like
You were
always.
smart.
Yeah, you're
trying
scheming. You're
to-
scheming.
Yeah, like when the dogs would poop in the backyard, and we would have to clean up the poop. He'd like you to take the poop, dig a hole, put the poop in it, and then cover it up.
Okay.
But I didn't want to go through the extra step of digging the hole.
No.
So I would take the poop and I would throw it in a neighbor's yard.
Oh.
And then one of my neighbors you saw me doing it, and then they told him,
What you doing? No, No, go get all that shit. You're going to bury that shit, and then you're going to bury this shit too.
Would you get in trouble?
yeah, I would get in trouble. He didn't spank us. He didn't spank he spanked
No, he
us.
made
Like,
you
my
fold
mom would
clothes at
spank
3
us.
a.m. That was his punishment.
Right. My mom would spank us, but he would do like mind shit to where you like, man, what the fuck? Like, yeah.
You know what? Give me that goddamn. Give me PlayStation. Gone.
and like he would confiscate our toys. Like if they were just laying around, he would confiscate them, and then 2 years later he'd give them to you for Christmas.
Like, did he think that you forgot that you once
No,
owned that?
no, he just knew-
It's like you earned your toy back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Merry
shit back.
Christmas.
God, I love that.
I think he was sort of a mastermind in his own way.
Yeah, he was.
And look what he's created.
he raised an incredible.
Did you back then? Were you already Did you have the acting bug when you were a kid, or no? Not. When did that happen?
No, I think that happened after high school. I think.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that happened after high school.
But and your dad, by that time when that started to happen, what did he think? Because he seemed like a no nonsense kind of guy. So what happens when you say I'm going to be an actor?
You just go do it. He was
Really?
He was the kind of guy like, if you want to go do something, you say you're going to do it, then go do it. And I think it around.
Don't talk about it.
Yeah, just
do it.
Go do it. Let me see you do it. You say you want to do that, go do it. That's how he was. Yeah. And no, he was super proud when he would see me, on television and stuff like that. He'd tell his friends and shit, or his friends. I saw Julian on the commercial. Yeah, he on the commercial. He doing his thing.
Wow.
With that smile, Yeah.
So you were able to act in Detroit for a period of
Yeah,
time,
I was.
which is what normally people would have to go to Hollywood, New York City to be an
Pursue
actor.
theater.
But you were able to do this in Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah, I got lucky. I mean, we
Well,
had
you got lucky, but it was also because you were very talented and handsome too.
Thank you. Yeah, we were. We had a film incentive, and a bunch of films were shooting in Detroit. And this is when I had, like a couple years before I had started acting in college. But I got my degree in communications with a specialty in television and radio production because I didn't want to get a theater degree because I was like,
Right.
what am I going to do with that?
So wait, you did know that you kind of liked the biz.
I did know I liked the biz. and
How did you know that about yourself? Because you didn't do any of that in high school.
No, so I started with this sketch comedy show that was in Detroit. It was like a local access show. It was like In Living Color, but for Detroit.
Oh.
So it was like, yeah. And my buddy told me about it while I was in school for television and radio production.
Okay.
So he told me about this, and we had done some sketches and stuff in class. And he saw one of my sketches. He was like, "Man, you funny, man." I was like, "Oh, thanks." He was like, "Yeah, it's this show, man, that we do. It come on like 1 and 2 in the morning, and it's called Switchplay TV." And I was like, "Oh, for real?" I was like, "Oh, okay." He was like, "Yeah, we have an audition." So I went and auditioned, and then I got in, and then that's when the bug really hit. And then I started doing a bunch of theater, and I was doing theater like Jeff Daniels Theater called The Purple Rose, and
The Purple Rose of Cairo.
yeah, that's what I think named it after. He named it after that.
Oh, is Jeff Daniels from Detroit?
He is. He's from Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and his theater is in Chelsea, Michigan.
Did you have to have a day job while you were doing
Absolutely.
Purple Rose
Oh,
Theater?
yeah.
What did you do?
Jesus. Okay. I didn't have so many damn jobs. Let me see. So I think during that time I was working for this party rental company called Boots Party Rental. And I would, and people would have parties and they would order tables
You got
and
to
chairs.
deliver the
And I
tables.
had to deliver all the tables and chairs and put up the big tents and stuff.
Did you ever stay for a party, or did they ever ask you to?
Nah,
No,
not.
no.
That would have been nice, though.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Nah,
And
nobody
then
in
you have to
Detroit
come,
wanted
and then
to
you
either.
come collect it when the party's over.
Yeah.
That's backbreaking work.
Yeah, and then I was a mover. So yeah, and it was a bunch of ex-cons that I was working with because those are like the jobs that you can get. I guess it's an ex-con is you can be a mover. So you got people moving your stuff who might steal your stuff.
Did you have to pretend to be kind of like a tough guy?
No, I think in Detroit you just was automatically a tough guy.
They just assume.
It's just automatic. You
Sure.
automatic. Like I think
Like you didn't tell them that you were in doing any theater.
No. No. But then they actually saw. They would see me, I think, on like Switchplay or something like that. Somehow people knew that I was acting.
Okay.
They didn't care.
Okay.
Plus, I was always doing martial arts, so nobody really mess with you. They used to call me in the hood. They called me Bruce Leroy. So yeah, nobody really messed with me.
Nobody's gonna mess with Bruce
No,
Leroy.
no.
Did you think that potentially you would parlay your martial arts skills onto the big screen like a Bruce Lee?
Yeah.
Still might.
Yeah.
Still might.
100%.
I see you as an action star.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I have a question. Is it true that you are married to your high school sweetheart?
That's right. That's
So
true.
during all this, are you married already, or are you dating?
Well, I was dating up until 2006, and that's when we got married.
Got it.
But yes,
No breaks. High school straight through.
high school straight, no breaks.
Okay.
High school straight through.
That is a love to aspire
Lucky,
to.
man. I'm
Yeah.
lucky, man. That woman, hey, man, that woman holds me down. She's,
She lotions you.
yeah, she does everything. She's just amazing. I'm a lucky man.
Wow.
God, you are a lucky man.
Yeah.
And so was she when you said, "Hey, I'm doing plays now. I'm doing theater now." Was she like, "What?"
Yeah, she was like, no, she was all about it because
Yeah.
she knew me in high school, and I was the class clown, so I was always making everybody laugh and shit. So she would be sitting over there in the corner snickering, and I didn't know that, she thought I was funny at all. But yeah, and I think what turned her on, as far as like, I guess attracted her to me was like I did the high school talent show, and I did martial arts in the talent show, and everybody was like, wow. yeah. So
Martial arts by yourself?
yeah.
How does that work?
I was just doing martial. I was just in the gym, and I had a little routine.
Have you ever heard
and
of
I
Tai
did some forms.
Chi?
Well, I don't think he was doing Tai Chi.
No, but I'm saying
what
it's
what
something you
elderly
can do
people
alone.
do in
Well,
the park.
listen.
This
No,
isn't
But there's
an-
poses, there's
Poses,
poses.
movements.
Yeah.
You got to hold
Yeah.
yourself in a squat for Tai Chi. That's not so easy. I'd love to see how long you could squat.
So what was the point that you decided to move from Detroit to Los Angeles?
Oh
yeah,
wow,
let's hear
yeah. That was an adventure.
And did your wife come with you?
Yes, 100%. So I had just gotten fired from MGM Grand Detroit. I was working there as a communications specialist, actually using my degree, and I had a film that went to Sundance. So the first
That you made? Or that you were in? Or
that I
you...
was, I started.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, but before that, we had made this movie in like 2005, and then the director, he kept adding stuff to it, and in 2006 he added something, 2007 he added voiceover, like it was like every year he would add something, and I'm like, dude, man, what the hell, dog, are you done with this movie yet? And he was like, no, I'm still working and trying to perfect it or whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. So in the meantime, I had started working for MGM, and somehow, lo and behold, the film got into Sundance.
Wow.
And then,
This is a quality film, that's why.
but before that, I had gotten, I was doing this play at Jeff Daniels Theater, but at MGM, I had to get them to lay me off for 30 days because the rehearsals for the film was every day. I'm sorry, the rehearsals for the play was every day. So they laid me off at MGM.
And were you paid for the play? Is that a paid? Is that
Yeah,
a
that was.
paid
Yeah, I got my
equity
equity
thing?
card and
Got
stuff
it.
from that.
Got it.
And then actually before that, I was always getting people to lay me off to act. So before that, I was working at the party rental company, and in order to do the film that went to Sundance, he had to lay me off for 30 days, but I did not get paid for the film. So he laid me off, and for him laying me off, I was able to draw unemployment, and I was able to do the film. So then I started working again, and then I got the job at MGM after we shot that film. And then after I got the job at MGM, we had done that, and I had ended up doing the Jeff Daniels thing, and they laid me off for the 30 days so I can do that. And then the film got to Sundance like 2 years later, and I had been asking for work off like constantly because that's when the film industry came, and I was doing like little commercials, and I was doing I did this film called Real Steel, and while doing all those things, I kept asking MGM like, I need this day off, I need that day off, I need this day off, I need this day off, and then the last straw was Sundance happened, and
You had to go.
I had to go, and I had asked them. I said, I got to go to Sundance, so I need a week off. They're like, "Oh, we love that you're doing this. We love that you're pursuing your dreams, but
It's not working out for us.
it is
a lot.
bad. So
Yeah.
we're gonna let this happen one last time." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I went to Sundance, and then once I went to Sundance, CBS wanted to meet with me. So CBS, the executives there, it was like 4 executives there. Peter Golden, Karen Church, Fern Ornstein, and Julie Pernworth. Julie Pernworth was the one who actually saw the film at Sundance and told them about me, and they wanted to meet me. So my agent calls me and tells me, like, CBS wants to meet with you, man. This is a big meeting. And I'm like, okay.
In LA, though.
It's in LA. And I was back in Detroit because I just got done with Sundance.
And this is 2006?
This is 2011.
Oh, 11, right? Because so many changes to the film. That's
Exactly.
right. Okay.
So February of 2011, they said they wanted to meet with me. And, Sundance is the end of January. So the director of the film told me the film had also gotten into the Pan-African American Film Festival. So I was like, well, I got to go to that. And while I'm attending the Pan-African American Film Festival, I can take this meeting at CBS. And because it was like 2 days. So I was like, I told my job.
They said one last time.
Yeah.
They stick to their guns.
Then they were like, we'll let you go.
Ooh.
And I
They
was
loved you.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, you were doing a great
they
job.
did.
Yeah, it was, yeah. So I go, and then I had the meeting. But I did not tell them that I was going to be gone. I told them that I was going to be gone for 2 days, but I actually had to be gone for 3.
Oh.
Because I thought I was like, I don't know what the fuck I was doing. So anyway.
Yeah, 2 sounds better than 3.
Yeah,
so
2
say
sounds
that,
better than
and
3.
then
Nice.
apologize later.
Yeah, exactly. So I went to Sundance. I'm sorry, I went to came to LA. And after I came to LA, I had the meeting. And Peter Golden was like, okay, look, Julie said you were great. And when are you going back to Detroit? And I was like, I'm going back tomorrow. He's like, you going back tomorrow? He was like, okay, we normally don't do this, but Julie, what are all the pilots that we have that Julian fits? And she looked at all the pilots and was like maybe 8 or 9 pilots. And they were like, okay, we normally don't do this, but we want you to go home. I want you to put yourself on tape for these and then send it back to us.
8 or 9.
Yes.
That's a lot of work.
Yes, it was. And I was like, okay. He was like, but look, I'm going to be honest with you. If you really want to do this, you need to be living here in LA. And I was like, okay, all right. And so I left. And then my wife was waiting for me. And I told her.
In LA or in Detroit?
Here.
Okay,
she was
came.
here. Yeah, she was with me, of course. Yeah. And she was like, I told her, I was like, babe.
Yeah, who else is going to lube you up when you're traveling?
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? I was like, babe, they said that we need to be here if I want to pursue this thing. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, so we got to figure it out, right? And she was like, yeah, let's talk about it. We'll figure it out. Okay, cool. So we go home, and I have my buddy Danny Mooney, who's a director. He shot the auditions for me, and they were the best auditions I've ever done in my life. Like I still today have not had a tape as good
made
as
you
those
feel as
were,
good as those.
right?
Wow.
So I was like, yeah, Danny, I'm gonna get one of these pilots, man. I know it.
Yeah, and you move out to LA
Exactly.
with a cush job.
Exactly, right?
It's all taken care of.
Yes. Heard nothing.
Oh.
And then I was like, damn, I didn't hear anything. Me and my wife talked, and I was like, man, I feel like you just got to do it. She was like, yeah, we got to figure out how to get out there. So I get back to Detroit, and they were like, you fired. And I was like, fuck. So then I'm like, okay, we got to save money. But I have no job. She was working. And so she was saving the money that she had. And then I ended up working under the table at the moving company. And since they fired me, I was able to collect unemployment. So I was working under the table. Shouldn't be saying this right now, but I'm saying it.
Yeah.
Working. So
Good luck getting him, Detroit. Good luck.
Right? So then, so I'm working under the table, and I'm getting cash from the moving company, and I'm getting unemployment, and I'm trying to save money. So we were able to save $3,000, and January rolls around, and I was looking at the groundlings. So it's where a bunch of fantastic people come from, like Lauren Burns and Ariane Price and Lisa Sherga and Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig, and a bunch of names, right?
Yeah, they're the same as Will Ferrell.
You did that in the right order.
Exactly,
the right order.
right.
Yeah.
So we were looking, and I was looking at the Sunday Company and how the program worked, and I was like, there's not a lot of black folk there. And I was like, the people I did see,
that's a problem.
they were sort of trickling off, and I was like, oh, shoot. And I was like, babe, this is the place I want to train, because this seems like this is the type of comedy I want to do. So once we get there, we can figure that out. So that following year, 2011 rolls around, because Sundance happened in 2010. So 2011 rolls around, that January, we had like $3,000 saved up. And I told my wife, it was like we were looking at places, but we weren't able to get here and see any places. So we were like,
You had to pick something.
we were like, let's
I'm
pick this
seeing.
place.
Yeah.
So we picked a place. We called the people. And I always use my white voice, right? When I call these people.
Let's hear
Can
it.
we hear a taste?
Well, hey, how are you? My name's Julian, and I was actually really interested in your apartment, and I'd love to take a look. I'm not able to get there though. But from the pictures, it looks great. I'd love to, send the first month and last month's deposit. Is that possible? And they were like, yeah.
So what a
my
nice,
God,
safe
this is
white
like
man.
Yes, they
Safe.
were
He's
like, yes.
He's like sells couches.
Yeah,
Right.
that guy, you can do anything that
Exactly.
he's not gonna.
Exactly. So I sent the money. We were able to grab the place without seeing it. And then the wife and I was like, okay. And this is when I was working for the moving company, like I said. So this guy was I don't want to say terrible person, but he was a very,
The landlord?
no,
The owner?
the moving company.
Oh,
The moving company guy.
Sure.
He like I said, like a lot of ex-cons and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he was
Some
one
shady
of,
stuff going on, probably.
He was one of those dudes who, if you were late, he would dock your pay. If you didn't show up, if you missed a day, not a no call, no show, but if you just didn't show up and you were sick or whatever, he'd dock your pay. So he had docked my pay once, and he docked my pay for $250. He just took $250 from me, right?
That's a lot.
So I was like, oh man. I was like, I'm getting that $250 back. I was like, I'm gonna get it back. And I was like, when I leave, I'm gonna just leave him a note, right? So it was the 27th of January. 27th of January.
This is like a suspense film.
I
is.
know, right? 27th of January, I told my wife, I was like, okay, babe, if I'm able to collect enough money because I would usually pay myself too. If I'm able to collect enough money from the moves that we do, I'm going to pay myself for the week. I'm going to take my $250 out. I'm going to leave him a note saying, hey, took my $250 out, took my money out, I quit.
So you're saying someone who hires this company to move, they are like, here's the $500.
Yes.
And you're like, I'm going to grab my $250 from
Yep.
that, leave a note,
Yep.
and say I took care of myself.
That's right. That's right.
This is the kind I like this guy.
Yes.
I like this guy.
So I ended up doing that. I that day we had 3 jobs, and it was supposed to be a snowstorm that night. So that day
gets better
we
and
had
better.
it gets crazier. So that day I was able to do the 3 jobs, and I think it was like $1,200. So I took my pay, which my hourly pay, and I took the $250. And I left him a note saying, "Hey, I quit. I've taken the money that you took from me. Blah blah blah. Thank you very much." But the 3 moving jobs that I did, I still had to move our stuff from our apartment into storage and pack what we can in the car. I end up taking the truck back then to the spot and seeing that he wasn't there because it was late. And I was like, and I told my wife, I was like, we're going to move, or either we going to L.A. that Friday or that Saturday, depending on when the money came. So the money came that Friday. So that's when we're like, we got to go. We go. And so I told her. And she's like, okay, cool. So I drove the moving truck to our house. I moved everything out of our house. We dropped the keys off. Then it began to snow. Oh, shit. Right?
But you got to get out. You got to get out.
Snowstorm. Like huge snowstorm.
You're not going anywhere.
We're driving the moving truck because now we got to drop the moving truck back off at the office. And I had a Mustang.
Yeah.
Which is two-wheel drive.
Not great for
terrible
snow.
In the snow.
So she following you in the Mustang?
She's following the Mustang. So I'm driving the big truck. She's following me in the Mustang. As we driving, the Mustang, she spins out. She does a total 360, right? And I'm like, so she stops the car. I stop the truck. I get out. I'm like, are you okay? I was like, are you okay, babe? Like, I just saw you like spin out. And she's like, yeah, I'm okay. And she's like a fucking trooper.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you sure? She's like, yeah. I'm like, babe, if you spin out again, I'm going to have you drive the truck. And I'm going to drive the Mustang. And she was like, you want me to drive that big truck? And I was like, we're going to have to.
Might be safer.
If you spin out again. So we driving. She spins out again. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, babe, all right. I'm going to drive this Mustang. You get in the truck, right? So she gets in the truck. Now she's in the truck, and this is a big truck, and she's driving this fucking moving truck. And she's following me to the shop to drop his moving truck off and drop his money off, right? So we get to the shop. I get out. I park his truck. I lock it up. And now I'm like, how am I going to get in this building? Because the building was all locked up. How am I going to get in this building to drop his money off and to drop the key to the truck off? It was, at that time, it was 12 at night. 12 midnight. Because after all the stuff. Midnight. I don't know how, but and nobody comes after hours at this building. For some reason, there's this one guy who's walking up, and as he's walking up, he opens the front door, and I was able to get in. So now I'm able to get in, and now in this building, it's a bunch of different offices and stuff like that. So I had the key to the actual office. I just didn't have the key to that front door.
Yeah.
So I was able to get into the front door, drop his stuff off, leave the note. Now I get into the car. Now I'm driving in a snowstorm to get to L.A.
Yeah.
As I'm driving, we're on the freeway. I spin out on the freeway. Now
with all of your belongings,
everything that we
You're
had.
literally driving to LA at this point?
Yes, I begin to drive to LA. So we spin out. Cars are swerving out of the way. I'm like, oh shit. So I continue to drive. Now I'm trying to drive, and I saw a truck. I'm trying to stay in the tracks that the truck is making. I'm trying to stay in the tracks. As we drive, I spin out again. We spin out. We almost hit the wall. Right? I'm like, fuck. So now I'm near the wall, and now I'm trying to hit the gas. I'm hitting the gas, and the car's not moving. I'm just spinning.
You're spinning.
Oh,
this is stressful.
And so now, wait a sec. Now, I don't know how, by the grace and will of God, I open the door, and as the wheels are spinning, I do this to the ground. I try to push the car with my hand.
With your hand.
And the car begins to move.
Holy moly.
And as the car begins to move, we gain traction, and then we on our way. And then as we on our way, and then the snowstorm.
Then you go out of the storm eventually.
We eventually hit out of the storm after we got through Ohio.
Whoa, so now that's a while. I mean, you were driving for a while before you got out of that storm.
Yes, we drove, and we
it's
drove
not
for like
like
40
we
hours.
only need an hour and we'll be out of it. No.
You know what my takeaway from the story is? Time and time again, you think, listen, I'm going to have faith.
Yeah.
It's going to work out.
Yeah.
I'm literally
Just keep
going
going
to stick
forward.
my hand in this freezing cold ice and push my car down a freeway. We are going to get to LA. Everything, babe.
Yeah.
It's going to be all right.
Yeah.
And look at you now.
Crazy.
Wow.
Was
my
there any
jaw is on the
point
floor.
where your wife said, hey, this is stupid. We keep spinning out. Let's stop doing this right now.
No.
Let's get a hotel or something.
No.
No. She said, all right, we're going.
And I couldn't
We're
see
doing
her
it.
because we had packed the car up so much.
There was something in between.
There was something in between. And so in order for me to look at her, I had to do this. I had to like lean all the way forward in order to see her. And she's just like,
Here we're going.
we doing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
This woman.
It was a good thing that your hands weren't too slick that day.
Right. Yeah. If I had too much oil on them, we might not have gained traction.
God, And so you get to LA and you make it in the groundlings and you become a series regular.
Yeah.
That's a great takeaway for us, because we're here and we didn't have a lot of luck in Hollywood, but we're trying to find and
Find
to
our
me
way.
it's just sex, drugs, rock and roll hooligans.
When I was trying to make it in Hollywood, I have to be honest, I was all out for myself and I was selfish. And I think this
Why?
is a big lesson.
It's a big it's a big lesson that that there are givers and people with big hearts here among all the sins.
Yes.
I think that's the only way you make it. You can't do it by yourself. It's impossible to do it by yourself. I think
You need a community.
you have to have the drive, you have to have the talent, and then you have to have a little bit of luck.
Sounds like you had a lot because
Yeah.
why
But
did
he
you
also
not
had
crash?
crazy drive
And
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
talent.
and crazy
Sure,
talent.
sure.
You had it all.
Yeah.
So thank you, Julian.
Thank you. I
Julian.
appreciate y'all.
Julian.
Julian.
Gerard. Gant.
Julian Gerard Gant.
Thank you.
Multiple Talking Women is hosted by Lauren Burns, Ariane Price, and Lisa Shurga, and produced by Carafano and Amelia Misco at Stampede Ventures for the Stampede Podcast Network. Okay, I'm done now.